We're Ashley and Sabrina,
your co-host for Ruck Up Buttercup podcast.
Military life can be challenging,
but also has its advantages.
Come and be part of the unfiltered
and sometimes unhinged conversations with fellow military spouses, Kayla and Laura, as we dive into the occasional rant
and brave of military life.
Share the stories that make us who we are,
and showcase the amazing organizations
and resources out there that make our lives a little bit better.
Whether you're new
or a seasoned military family,
we all need a little extra love.
Make sure to catch us on Wreath Across America Radio at 11 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ruck Up Buttercup, the last one of season 5, which is I can't even comprehend that. I feel like we were so excited for the startup of season 5 to think that we've done 23 episodes and this is the 24th already is I don't know how we got here. What happened to the year?
It really did go by really fast, I feel like.
It was a weird year.
After we got out of January, it went fast.
It just was done. Yeah, and I think that that's what we're talking about this year, or this episode is like what this year has been. For me, I want to say it's been insane because we've moved twice in 1 year. Like what in the world? We've had to do all those stupid things that we have to do as military spouses twice, starting over with friends, paying all the deposits, cleaning houses, the moving trucks, it's been a really rough year. It's been a really hard year for our family.
I think we're also kind of like in limbo for such a long time too that it's just been
and I feel like we still just are not in a solid spot. Like the job in Arizona, we just couldn't do it financially because it was half of what we were used to getting paid. That's really, really, really crazy to us. And this one we're getting paid enough, but he's working remotely for a different company, which is not what he wants to be doing. Like, it'd be great if he was working remotely in our house, but he still has to go to the office here to work remotely. So it's not really the vibe of a job that he wants to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't envy y'all having to move.
Yeah, we moved.
That retirement did not bring moving.
I think, honestly, the move wasn't that bad for us. But at the same time, it was, I feel like I'm still playing catch up from the move, just trying to get my feet underneath me. We PCS'd here. We bought our very first house. So that was kind of exciting. We bought our first house. Jeremy was home for 30 days after that, did a bunch of projects around the house. And then he went to Poland for a year. So that's a big transition. I think that's why a lot of our issues are happening right now is because the kids are just dad's gone. So they're not being the happiest little things. But it was an interesting year too. I got to go on a mom trip. So finally, that was something I really was looking forward to when we started when we started the season. I had a great time, injured on my trip, but still was a super fun trip. And just kind of just surviving life. I feel like it's been it went by really fast, but I felt like it was a lot of survival moments of just getting through the day.
I definitely feel like the entire year I've been on a day-to-day basis. My kids are like, let's plan this, let's plan that. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's happening tomorrow. It's been like that all year long. I'm like, maybe we can plan a week ahead. But I still right now, we're listing our house from North Carolina in the next week or so. And it's I still don't know. Things will change once the house is sold. We'll have debt paid off. All these things will change. And so then it's we will be able to plan ahead. I feel like we'll finally be at a point where we're okay, we can breathe now. But it's been so, just all year, survival mode, where we're just stuck, what's next? I don't even know what's coming up.
Yeah.
And Laura, you had a huge transition. Your family made a huge transition too. Not moving, but retirement.
Yeah, retirement. And, of course, his retirement date was the day the government shut down. So
right. The worst timing ever.
The worst time because, paychecks still haven't happened. Luckily, he got his last paycheck, and we were kind of knowing that we had planned ahead all year. We were like, okay, well, let's plan for 2 to 3 months. So not having a paycheck, and luckily we did plan ahead because of that. So but it should all be fixed by the 1st. So yay.
We got our pay because our pay was all messed up because Jeremy transitioned and went overseas and all that kind of stuff. And so we were thankfully had a little bit of money still to the side. And I was so stressed. So
the Army one showed up, we can see it online. And then we called the VA for his rating and they were like, yeah, because his his rating wasn't decided
prior to
on
that's what's the crazy
October
thing.
1st. It wasn't a full month. So November, he didn't get paid because November was the first full month, and the VA always pays a month behind because, you know, you have to live through that month to get your pay. I get why they do it, but
Yeah, I get it. I get
So-
it. But
Time, like when you have incidences that happen to, like, you know, like we're kind of like in a, like, we don't talk politics on here, guys, but we always, like, the shutdown was such a crazy time for military families in general. Whether you had savings or you're not, most families live paycheck to paycheck, but like the amount of other things that go into play, like everyone's like, you should have this much money saved aside. I'm like, but families move so often that their savings always goes towards that. Or what happened if they were in the middle of PCS like we were? So technically, like, we were still in the middle of a PCS move. And so Jeremy's pay wasn't corrected. We are now paying for 2 homes, not just one. And so, and we're not the only ones in the boat. So, you know,
no, there were some that were so crazy. Like thinking about it, like hearing at the beginning of the shutdown was these families that like, oh, you'd already moved out of your on-base housing, but you don't have a new one already set up. Like, okay, you're gonna live in a hotel until the government starts back up.
And,
it was like,
and then you don't have a paycheck to pay for it. And
No.
yes, like we did get paychecks throughout it, but like our paycheck, like our second paycheck that we got was not correct. It was like $1,500 short. So like it barely covered our expenses.
Right. And then it wouldn't they definitely wouldn't have been approving more living in a hotel money. That wasn't getting done. That's the
absolutely
craziest.
not.
Yeah.
So my only political thing I'm ever going to say on this podcast is reach out to your representatives and make sure that this doesn't happen again. Like, say, hey, this is what happened to me. If you have a story that they should be hearing, obviously reach out, send a letter. It's quick email. I sent one already to our representative here in Alabama, but I was just like, this is absolutely like chaotic.
Right.
And the fact that you guys don't have it set up for these families who, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like, you know, government workers should be paid too, but they're not moving like military families are. They most likely will have another income coming in. Most military families don't. Not saying that that's not the case. I'm sure there are families that are one income coming in, but that is where you have to go talk and let your voices be heard, which is why we
now is the most important time to do that, because
Exactly.
although you feel this relief, like, right, the government's back up, things are going to start functioning a little bit more what we're used to. It's a Band-Aid. If you don't know that, it's a Band-Aid. And in January, this is all going to come back into play.
So at least for active duty, like
right, they covered some of the bits that
they did it for the whole fiscal year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They approved that part.
There were like 3 things that got approved for a full year.
Yeah,
but it's still going to shut down. There's still going to be where you're not going to have access to government things.
Right back to this with all the people that, like, you don't even think about it. All the people that work in the hospital, they're government workers. They're not getting paid.
You know, there were so many different people that weren't getting
air traffic controllers.
Don't make a lot of money. So yeah, so this is where, you know, obviously it's important to go vote. It's important to, you know what's happening. I know there's so many spouses who say like, I don't watch the news or anything like that. You know, each their own. Do what makes you survive every single day, but be in the know. Whether you're
careful with those resources, like that just because a statement comes across saying the government will open, it's still a process. Learn the government process. Like there is another voting, and then there's the signing, and that there's also days after that where you have to wait for the transition of the money to come back through, and like learn how the government works. I think that also will help you a lot in politics, so that you're not just like believing what everybody says.
And I'm just talking about weird things.
I was like, how are we going to handle Christmas without no pay? Because like, if we didn't open up, we weren't getting paid on tomorrow.
Right.
Before you're listening to this was, you know, obviously this is a little ahead of time, but you know, we are recording this a little early, but you know, I was like, how are people, like, I've already seen so many people, we're doing Thriftmas, we're doing all these different things just to afford Christmas. Because one, obviously, like, the economy is so bad right now. Like, it's so expensive. Again, you can't believe everything you read. You can't believe everything you hear. You have to do your own research, find credible sources. But I was like,
Target gift cards came in clutch.
I know.
And that's that pre-planning situation. So I was talking to one of my friends yesterday at our coffee date, and it was like, she's like, well, I feel like we didn't plan ahead enough because her husband was furloughed, and they she's like, I don't know when or what that money's going to look like coming up. And she's
Mhm.
like, so we have this Disney trip coming up in December. And she's like, thank God we were buying gift cards throughout the first half of the year. So at least we have those funds. And so like that, like Laura
Nice.
doing the Target cards, it's essential sometimes.
Fantastic idea, especially if you're in a family, one income family, and it's not a huge chunk out of your pocket at the end of the year. One, I think Laura does it where she's like, she's just thrifty as can be. And she's like, okay, I'm going to buy this, this, and this and get this free gift card. But, going and buying a gift card throughout the year.
Doesn't
So,
feel that big
like,
when
you
you do
want
it.
to have a $300 budget, whatever your budget is. No, everyone can mind your business on that as well. Everyone does something different on that as well. But, how much you want to have to spend for Christmas that year, buy it throughout the year. And it's a little bit out of your pocket rather than a huge chunk at the end of
Because
the year.
even $50 a month on a gift card is so much more manageable than $600 at the end of the year. Like, yeah.
And literally none. I don't think there's a full priced gift that my kids are getting.
That's great.
Because I start shopping for birthdays and Christmas the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
For the next year. Because we have 3 October birthdays, then Christmas, then Brian's birthday, then Astrid's birthday. And it's like, they are all just like right there. And if I don't,
I wish I had the like solid plan for our future to know that we'd be in one place to do that. So my thing is like, oh great, I'd buy all these presents and then it would be in the shipment container where I can't even access it, and it'd be like, well, you have presents. Someday you'll get them. So I feel like that's my
that
life
was the
right
next
now.
part is we put them in those, big storage totes, and either they stay at our storage unit or in my closet, which, my closet got gutted, so they got rocked early this year.
Yeah. I think mine is my kids change their minds so much and so often that like I typically try to start buying presents in October, which that didn't happen this year because the uncertainty of whether or not we were gonna have a paycheck. I was like, well, that's just gonna be put on hold for now. But this year I'm spending a lot more time looking at all the different stores to find it the cheapest way, so that way I can get more bang for my buck type of thing. But
and if y'all are looking for something, let me know, because if I see it at a discount or because I know several managers at different stores and they tell me ahead of time when sales are coming, I can be like, hey, don't buy it yet.
Well,
and she's thrifty.
That's just the thing, like, find what works best for your family, and if you are a family who can't afford brand new toys, it's okay, especially if your kids are little. Like if you get a perfect condition toy from someone who is unloading it, because I usually typically make my kids go through their rooms before Christmas time and get rid of things that they don't want. Like I already know Claire is wanting to get rid of her stuff that she got for Christmas last year. She barely plays with it and it's so big. It's $250 at the store. And I'm like, oh, I can sell this to someone for $120 and they can get what their child wants because they can afford it now, or whatever the price may be. Because it's maybe like pieces of paper are wrinkled, but that's it. Like it has everything in there. And so, when the kids were younger and I wasn't working, like I happened to be during a period of time where I wasn't working, I 100% did a thriftmith. I found the things that I wanted for my child. I knew he would want, knowing that one, he can't open presents very well anyways at a young age.
They don't really understand it.
I'm more excited to see it like boom in their face. And so like, his first 2 Christmases, even Claire's first couple of Christmases, like, yes, they got new things, they got wrapped, but like, things that were like super expensive, I was able to find them practically brand new for a fourth of the price. And I was able to get more or put that money towards something else. There's no shame in it. I've seen so many people bashing people over that. I've seen it so much lately over social media, and don't do what works for your family, y'all.
I mean, we're doing it totally different this year for our family and my kids are old enough to understand that 2 moves are really expensive. There's been so much that's come onto our plate. I mean, we've had medical. I think this year we've incurred like $6,000 in medical. Like it's insane. So like they're understanding of that. And so we were like, how fun would it be if we, not really secret because there's only 4 of us and people have to shop with each other, but we we each get one person. And so that's what we're doing this year is we each are just buying for one person, and we have a $50 cap, and it's fun. They're so excited. They're like, oh, I get to pick all the things for this person. And then when they open it on Christmas, that's only from me. Of course, they'll get stuff from grandparents and aunts that'll get shipped to us. And there will be more than enough stuff that we don't need anyway. So it's like, you can always just do that. Set a budget and be like, this is what we're doing. And it's okay. Like, my kids
I think the
understand.
budget is a great thing to do. And especially if you're like, okay, like this is the budget I have for each child, I'm a firm believer of trying to get what your child wants for Christmas. It's, the season of joy. But, when your kids get older, you can have that conversation of like, hey, sometimes it's just not happening. Like I told Devlin is my husband's son. Like they like expensive things. And I'm just like, you're not. And what's bad is Devlin's birthday is the day after Christmas. So he's already very expensive time of year for us. And so I was like, you're not getting all of that. Like, I can tell you right now, I was like, you need to make this the priority of what you want the most to the least. And you get what you get. And he's like, no, I understand. Like, that's fine. He's like, these are the ones I really, really want. And I was like, okay, cool. I will see what we can do. And then, of course, Laura helped me because I was like, that's going to be like $350 for just the 3 things at the top of his list. And then she was like, go look at Sam's. And I did. And it was like $70 cheaper to get them all at Sam's than it is at any other store. So shop around. That's all you can do is just do the best and don't let anyone feel bad about what your best is, because that's all that matters, especially in our little community of survival. Because like we all are surviving. We're surviving, you may be spending some of your money to travel for the holidays, because we all know that the expectation is for us to travel home for the holidays, which if you've listened to the podcast, you know that we are very against doing that. Like, you do what you want to do, but it's okay to say no. It's okay to put your foot down and say, no, we're going to stay home for the holidays, but it's okay to go too. So,
and if you follow us on Deployed Love, you'll see me talking on there recently about that. And that situation is like, it changes every year, depending on where you move to. Like, we've never had the pressure of coming home for the holidays because we've always lived 30 hours away. Like, nobody's like, you have to come home. But now all of a sudden we're 12 hours away. And they're like, well, why won't you come home for Thanksgiving? And it's like, because I have no money. Like, you have to just realize that it's okay. And I was really feeling the pressure because it was coming from both my husband's side and my side. And they were like, well, you could do both. You could see everybody at the holiday. I'm like, yeah, I get that. But like, no, because you just have to lay that down.
We were supposed to travel for Christmas, and I was fine with traveling, but like the times that we're traveling, especially with my kids getting older, their gifts are getting to be not necessarily bigger ask, but like, so our new neighborhood that we live in, all the kids have dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and go-karts and things that they just ride around the neighborhood. And my kids are like, we want one too. And I'm like, well, that's not happening for Christmas if we're traveling, because how am I getting it from point A to point B without you guys seeing it? At least the youngest one. And then so finally we are actually not traveling for the holidays, and it was such a relief because I was just like, I really just did not want to drive like the 7 hours to North Carolina to go stay at my sister-in-law's house for a night to 2 nights, and then most likely have to travel on Devlin's birthday. Like, I was like, that's just not going to be fun for anybody. So we're doing it here, and I'm so excited. I am traveling for Thanksgiving, but I'm like, it's okay. Like, we made it work. We're going to go up for a little bit of time. I mean, a little bit of flexibility with the kids being homeschooled. So that's really nice. They want me to stay longer. And I was like, no, thank you. Like, I was like, there's not like my own space there. And I know for myself that I can be overwhelmed really easily, and I can start to shut down if I'm just constant noise. And so I know that's going to happen while I'm there. And so I'm like, I'm going to keep it to a week. And then after that, I'm going to head home.
And see, like, this is the first Christmas that my kids have to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Grandparents that are still alive, but not able to be there. Right. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. I toss back and forth on, should I just wrap something and say it's from them or not? And I'm like, I still haven't decided.
I used to do that. I used to put presents under the tree from other grandparents who doesn't necessarily send things.
Well, this one
And
always would.
they
And
always
so
would. Yeah. But I think that's a great,
I'm going to talk to my dad because my dad is still functioning and be like, hey,
yeah,
you want me to get something for the kids from y'all?
it's from you. Yeah.
And he'll tell me to use his account because obviously I pay all his
Yeah, you do
necessities
all this.
anyway. So I can make it, literally, we can make it from him, but I'm going to have to
I think
talk to him. But
whatever way you can make it a magical time for your family is what you should do. Whether that is staying home and cozying up with just your little family unit and doing what you can to make it special, whether that you are an elf on the shelf family or you are, which I so regret doing.
I'm so
I'm
happy. Ash
wondering how
was
long it's
like,
gonna last.
I want a Grinch. I was like, bet.
I am kicking myself in the
It's
in the butt.
exhausting.
It is. Well, thankfully, my oldest is helpful. He's all about knowing the things, and so he wants to help make it fun for his little sister. So I do appreciate that, and that's kind of the fun. Like, it's kind of a fun thing for me and him to do together after we tuck her into bed. But I'm like, why? And I did it because like all of her friends had it, and she was just like, why don't we?
It's hard to
I'm like,
explain.
and so we got one. I actually got a girl one this year, so because she really wanted a girl one. Last year we had a baby, so she's grown up this year. So that's the storyline we're going with. And then hopefully next year they retire. But, making it magical, this holiday season, Jeremy's gone. So, how can we make it still feel very magical and not just we're in the pressure of the holiday season? So finding different things that work with our family are going to be great. Jeremy does get to come home for Christmas this year. We're really, really thankful that he had the leave to be able to come home, which is another reason why we're really thankful that we don't have to travel, because like he's already traveling from Poland to States. So he was also like, thank goodness I don't have to get in a car and drive 7 hours and then back and then fly out. So he'll be home for the holidays. So we're really excited that we'll be able to spend, 10 days with him. So I think having those little moments of things to look forward to are also super important. If your service member is gone during the holidays, there's so many different things you can do. You can send a care package, decorate the care package for Christmas, send a little Christmas tree. There's so many different things that you can still send and let your service member have the magic of the holidays, but you guys get to incorporate that as well. Make a garland through Christmas holiday of how many days he's been gone and put it around your Christmas tree. I think there's just so many different ways that you can still keep the joy of the holidays.
Yeah, and holidays are just about traditions too. And it was kind of interesting when we were talking about the only one holiday we were thinking about going home was Thanksgiving anyways, because over the years we've loved Christmas alone. And actually Darren came up and he was like, hey, for Christmas, are we just staying home and doing it here? And I was like, yeah, I think so. And he's like, oh, I'm so excited. He was like, because he loves that. He loves baking cookie, like doing all of our traditions, which last year when we were in other people's homes, you can't do it.
Or you feel kind of like obligated to do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Christmas, like we're baking cookies and we're decorating them, and then, like every time we go somewhere else, like the cookies are already made, so we're just decorating them. I'm like the part of going through the process of doing it all together is what's important with us. So my kids were really excited that we weren't traveling. They're kind of sad that they don't get to see their aunt and uncle and their cousins on that side, but it is what it is.
And last year was our first like actual big Christmas together with like everybody, like cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody was there. And I think honestly my kids were just overwhelmed. It was obnoxious because there's 30 people sitting in a room. We're all opening presents at the same time. There's trash everywhere, people talking in every corner. And you're just like, this is overwhelming. It's so
overwhelming. It's exhausting.
When they've grown up on this like cozy, we're sitting around the tree and we all wake up and we're drinking our coffee and we're opening presents together in this quiet, calm, beautiful like Christmas morning. They don't want that anymore. They don't want to go do the big thing. They were like, that I don't want to do that. I'm so glad we're staying home.
Yeah,
it means I don't have to drive medical supplies with me or food for Alex or like.
I mean, just the process of like you have pets, finding a pet sitter or like hauling everything with you. Like it's just don't stress yourself out. Like
I'm like, y'all can come here if you want.
Yeah,
here's the
right.
list.
I've said that. Yeah,
that you can get.
I am so excited for this Christmas because last year was so ridiculous. We flew 3 or 4 days before Christmas to North Carolina to pick up all of our stuff, drive it to Arizona, drive back. And when we got back Christmas Eve to my sister's house, and then the chaos of everybody there. Then we all got really sick and had to pack all our stuff into the car and drive back to Arizona with massive
fever. I forgot about that.
It was the worst holiday ever. I hated everything about Christmas last year. We were all sick. Nothing about it was fun. So I'm like, this is so nice.
We got the flu on the way home. It was not fun.
So bad. I was so sick over Christmas. I ended up locking myself into a room because I was miserable. I mean, I never sleep during the day. I was sleeping 20 hours a day. I was so sick and I felt so bad because the kids were like, Mommy, come bake cookies and things like that. And I'm like, thankfully we were at my in-laws, but I felt bad that I was sick at my in-laws, and my niece and nephew, which were babies, were there. And I was just like,
yeah, don't touch.
So sorry. But I was just like, oh, this is absolutely miserable. I would so much rather be in my own bed. Thankfully everybody was not grumpy about it, because only would make
worse. So nice this year. Even if we get sick, I don't care. Like you're saying,
in your own house is so much nicer than being sick anywhere else.
Better. Yeah.
It's I don't care if I'm opening President's World coughing on my own kids. We're all gonna catch it anyways. But you don't feel like you have to be away from everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot I was sick until you said you guys were sick, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was sick at Christmas.
The girls got sick, and of course Alex, who should be the one who gets sick,
was the one that wasn't sick.
Was the only one who never gets it. Crazy. I'm like, how?
Another stress of if we travel, we're gonna get sick, because I always get sick when we travel. I'm guaranteeing it. When I drive up to North Carolina, I will probably catch a cold or something. Absolutely. It's also 30 degrees colder there in the mountains, so
we've already had our first freeze here.
Yeah, we had a frost the other day, but
we also had wasps in our fireplace.
Yeah. So we had a freeze, and then we were just out at hiking, and there was wasps everywhere. I'm like, how did you guys not die?
No, luckily the freeze helped, but we called our exterminator because we have it on a service where they come and they're like, light a fire. And when I tell you, 30 of these things came crashing down dead and burned in the fire. It was glorious.
Those Asian beetle bugs that look like ladybugs, they have been swarming. And when I mean swarming the house. And I have vacuumed them up the ceiling off the ceiling probably a good 10 times, and every single time it's been 30 to 50 bugs.
Because you have a dog, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you have to watch out because they'll stick to the roof of their mouths and infect.
Oh, I need to go check. His mouth. I think he's good, but yeah, these things have been
because they'll just eat, lick it off the ground, and then yeah.
And he would,
because my friend is having the same problem, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me go look at it. But yeah, they're everywhere. So yeah, I mean, just do what you can do, and that's all that matters. If it's stay home, if you can't afford brand new items for Christmas, that's okay. So it is what it is.
And don't back to your childhood Christmas. I mean, how often do you remember what you got on any of those days?
I seriously, the only Christmas present I can ever remember getting was a Furby when Furbies first came out. And it was because I freaking hated that thing after 2 days because it would not shut up. And Claire's like, I want one. I was like, absolutely not. So I was like, that's the only one I can rember. That's the only
thing I can remember. Astrid wants a Labubu. And luckily, I scored one of those forever ago.
So you're like, I've had it. I don't know.
And I didn't have to pay some ridiculous price of some scalper upcharging those things.
It's crazy the things that kids want. The kids are so into.
It was our version of Trolls.
Yeah,
it is. It is. Okay, listen.
Troll doll.
They are soft and they're so ugly. They're cute. I won one in a giveaway, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, maybe I should give this to someone. But then Claire's like, I want it, so I was like, okay, we'll open it. And so it sits on her little dresser. Is she old enough to really understand the fad of it? No, but she's obsessed with it, and it's okay. So, oh yeah. Speaking of it, she brought it down. I mean, it's so ugly. It's cute.
I put my baby Oh. So Astrid's getting one of the Coca-Cola ones.
I really wanted the one that sit because I wanted to put it on my bookshelf. The one that stands doesn't sit very well, but it's still cute. It's so soft. She's always asking for like, because they make clothes and stuff for it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, and it is kind of like our trolls, like when we were growing up.
Yeah, but if you look back, though, the only one I remember, and it was special, is because my mom made it. She put like one of those like bendable teddy bears, and she dressed it all up, like made the dress for it, the bed that it was in. And I remember looking under the tree and seeing it under there and be like, oh, I really hope that's for me. And then my mom being like, oh no, it's for your sister. And then I opened it the next morning, was so excited. But that's like the only thing. And like, that's because it was like special. Like it wasn't just a present.
I know. I just remembered another one. My aunt made us one of the, like a tent. And she had like hand painted on it. And we were very into imaginative play when we were little, because one, we didn't have a TV. Like we had like the basic like 10 channels. So like you could only really watch cartoons on like Saturday morning at 7 a.m. But we didn't like have like regular cable or anything like that. And so we did a lot of like imagination play. And so she made us this like gigantic like canvas tent, and we were all able to fit in it, and we were all able to just play in it. So I can't remember if that was Christmas or birthday, because my birthday's in November. So like some of that meshes together, but like it was a present.
Ultimately that like they don't remember those little things anyways. So if one year you don't give as many gifts, they're not gonna even know that happened the next year. They'll have forgotten what they got the last year.
I mean, listen, I can tell you right now that the things that I got my daughter for Christmas last year, she barely plays with. She's played with it maybe 4 times. And I'm like, that was so expensive. But okay. So yeah, don't stress yourself over the holiday seasons. Everything will work out. Do what's best for you. I mean, I feel like that's the only like great piece of advice. It's okay to say no. We say that all the time. It's okay to say no, not to go home. It's okay to tell a family member, please don't buy that. It's okay to say, hey, like, we don't want toys. Like, what works for your family is what works for your family.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of transition, but we would talk about season 5, guys. We finished it. And there were so many, like we ended up, you guys have probably seen some kind of gaps in the play. And then this is our last episode for the year. But we were like, oh, well, 24 is still 2 a month. And that's what we've always done. So it was just crazy how fast we got through 24 different episodes. And here we are. So what was maybe one that stood out to you?
I had a really hard time deciding on this, because I think we had some really great resources this year that had a really meaningful impact into the military community. So I really loved our talks with, I want to say it wrong, so let me find it. We had 2 dog. So we had deployments.
Dogs on deployment.
Which I thought was such a sweet story, like just the story of that, how that came apart. I also really love talking to Raina over on the Desk of the Navy Spouse. Is that what her podcast is called?
And I was going to say her too, because it's been such a nice resource. And if you didn't know, me and Ashley were also on her podcast. So there's actually like 3 episodes. Yeah.
And she was just genuinely like such a nice person to talk to. And it was nice to get a different perspective from a different branch on how military life was. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I love learning about the United through reading a little bit more, because we've heard about United, and that was season 4. I'm looking at the wrong season. See, we've done 5 seasons, y'all. We've interviewed so many.
Think about that. That's 24 episodes a season. That's a ton of resources. Like, so many things we've talked about.
Family in Flight was a really interesting resource that we learned about, and also hearing the story of why that came about. Like we learned over listening to or interviewing these different individuals who start other nonprofits on why they start nonprofits, and it just genuinely brings our mission into light as well, because we know that feeling. So it's been one of those things where it's nice to see like other people see a need and then do something about it.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And that's what we definitely, Dogs on Deployment, all these, like any nonprofit that we've talked to, come from a need, and then them being able to take that leadership and doing it, because I think that's a huge thing. Is a lot of people will be the people that are online that complain about these problems that they're having, but talking to these leaders where they come in and are like, yeah, I was really upset, but I fixed it. And now anybody else who has this problem, I can provide them with a solution. And I think that's so cool. I think my favorite It's so hard, like you're saying, it is really hard. But I really love The Soldier's Best Friend. The mission, because
I love that
the mission behind not only helping PTSD veterans, which is so
But
needed.
even those puppies,
Puppies are also getting saved, right?
And I love that we learned, because I was like, oh man, this is such a great resource. Like when I was looking into it before we did the podcast recording, and I was like, this is such a good thing. Like, this really sucks that this is not another location. Like, this location is just Arizona. But he told us that they can connect us to people all around the country. And I was like, this is amazing. And that's what's so great about the podcast, is that we get to learn not only about resources that we already know. I mean, did we interview USO this year, or was that last year?
We did USO,
We did USO. I mean, we've done all these different episodes, and most of us know the programs, but we don't know all of it. So we're learning and exploring, the different programs that these individuals have, and learning of these different stories that military spouses have. Because, like, I mean, you guys can hear our stories all day long and be like, yeah, but it's we all have different lives. And yes, we're in a similar circumstance, but a lot of things are different, but then things are similar. So, like, you're not alone. Like, the what comes out of it is that you're not alone. Like, and there are resources out there that are going to help you.
And I feel like when I started even being around the military, it's changed so much in the options you have for resources. The internet has just freaking grown.
Yes.
Outrageous.
I think we talked about that this year on a podcast.
Like, 0405 was insane, and compared to now, and it's like, looking back,
I mean, even until like 2010, like, social media was out, but like, I mean, we graduated high school in 2007, so Jeremy joined fairly shortly after that, and our only communication was email, like, during his deployments and stuff. There was no, I think it's Skype, but it was never like,
and it would be like once a month Skype. Like, it wasn't frequent.
And it was very bad connections. You got, they cut it off a lot because of, mortar attacks.
Something happened, And so it's one of those things where, like, I'm so happy for our modern day military spouses, our new baby mil spouses that are coming in, have a different environment that they have. Like, communication with even basic training is so different now. Like, there's different ways that you can connect with them that gets your letter there quickly. I think it's called Sandbox.
I was in OSIT, and luckily, because Steven was deployed, they would let me once a week get on the computer just to check, because they were nice, and they let me use their computer. I mean, they absolutely did not have to, but they were nice. Plus, I had to make sure my parents were paying the bills that weren't on auto pay. But
it's so different. But, like, the internet has opened so many more doors. But, like, one thing we have found doing the podcast is, I mean, I'm a military spouse of 15 years. I've been in the military community my entire life. So 30. How old did I turn?
37.
37. I was like, wait, how old did I just turn? 37 years of military life. And between the three of us, we have over 60 years of experience in terms of military life. And we are learning something new every time we do the podcast.
Well, that's what I think the internet does, is it puts too much out there. Like, you can't find that. And so a lot of spouses don't find these resources until, like, we are looking for them for the podcast or kind of things like that. You're not just going to come across Family in Flight, I don't think, unless you were looking for it.
Unless you're looking for it. Because, and even though, like, social media is great, it's still so hard to filter through. Like, it's so hard to find. Like, you can type in something and still not find what you're looking for. And there are the resources out there. And so that's why I think networking and communications, like, in the military community, is so profoundly important, because without it, you're going to just be stuck. You're not going to understand the ins and the outs. You're not going to know what can help you. I mean, there's so many things out there for free things for military families, discounts, resources to help in
scholarships. I feel like that's one of the biggest ones.
Yes. I mean, and if you don't utilize them, it's okay. But, like, you may never know if you come across someone who's like, I really need help in this. We see it all the time. Like, hey, I don't have enough money to put food on the table. What are resources I can reach out to? And most of the time it's just like, you should be budgeting better. No, we don't do that. We need to uplift each other up and help each other out because we don't understand or know what their circumstances are. So, instead of commenting like that, like, have those resources in your back pocket and say, hey, like, you can reach out to this and this person. These are resources that help send you gift cards to go to Walmart or whatever the case may be. There's so many things out there. You just have to know where to look, which is why we started the podcast.
And I love being on the podcast because of that. Like, I literally this year had a friend reach out and they were like, hey, my husband's soldier is going to a clinic to get mental health and he has 2 dogs. She goes, I know on the podcast, you just talk to a dog resource. Can you reach out to them and ask what they know about who can take care of the dog while he's in this situation? And it's cool to be like, yeah, I do actually know some people that I
in my back pocket.
I can help you try to figure out this situation. And like, that's so cool. And even if it is, you're just listening to our podcast, you have that, or you can reach out to one of us and we'll help you find that. Exactly. Like, it's totally cool.
I mean, that's the whole reason why we did the podcast. I mean, one reason was because we were already having these conversations and we were like, we should take this to a podcast like format, even if it's just so we can have it recorded. But like, we knew that there were spouses out there who want this information, and we wanted to put it in a location where it was easily accessible. And what better way than a podcast? You can view it on YouTube. You can view it clips on our social media, on Apple, on
the Deployed Love website. I reorganized it, so if you guys haven't been there, please go. Like, I made it so you can literally search by topic, so you can be like deployments, and it pulls up all of our podcasts from deployments, and it's great. So
I love it. This is my favorite project that we do, other than, of course, like some of our Deployed Love like events, but I look forward to our recordings like monthly. So it's one of those things where we will continue to bring all of these great resources and military stories to you throughout the next season. It's just
not the next thing we're going to talk about, but we were going to talk about season 6, and we have decided we're going to do 3 episodes a month. You guys are going to get one almost every week. That is really exciting.
I think that's so exciting, which means that we need y'all's help. If you guys are listening, you're like, hey, like, this is a great resource that I don't think you guys have done, or hey, I have the craziest or most interesting story to tell about my military life, we would love to have you on and share it, because again, I think this is a great way for military spouses to feel connected and feel seen and heard and not alone, because it can be really lonely. And so we don't want anyone to ever feel that way. That's why we are here on the podcast. That's why we have Deployed Love. We want to make sure everyone has a safe space and a home to go to so they can find that community and connection.
Yeah, and if you
actually might have one for us.
Yeah. We also have an application, so like send it to people. If you are like, hey, I know you had the USO on, but I have this person who works for the USO and their branch does these really cool projects. Can they come on? Send them the application. Like, we would love that.
We learn something every single time we interview. I mean, we've interviewed there's some of our guests that we've had on the podcast. I mean, this is our 5th year. So we've had guests on like the very beginning, and we've re-interviewed, and the programs have changed drastically since those 5 years. And so it's really cool to know and learn about new things. I think one of the ones that like was the biggest, like, oh my gosh, was the Fisher House. Like, I knew about the Fisher House the entire time I've been a military spouse, but I didn't know all of the things that they did. And I was like, that's amazing. And why didn't I know this? And so I think that's just kind of like the revelation that we get in the podcast. It's great.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. Yeah, season 6 is going to be great. We already have we have a person on our team. She's been sending me all these new resources that we didn't know about. And she's like, this person should be a guest. This person should be a guest. So we are super excited. The application should be up on Ruck Up Buttercup by the time this one comes out. So you guys will see. You can send it in. You can fill out just for yourself, for your company, even if you have a company that's not a nonprofit or something.
Will you support military families? Yes.
Supports veterans. We also love to talk about veteran resources. So any of that stuff, send it our way.
But I might have to.
We would love to have you. We would love to have you guys on. And it just makes these conversations more meaningful when we have people who are just excited about sharing these resources with military families as we are. So it's great. I'm so excited for season 6.
Me too. Well, then we'll go back to what we were going to talk about. So, hobbies. You guys haven't heard us talk about books, and it was essential to come to books at some point.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
So obviously we haven't finished the year. As we're recording this, it's November, so I can't exactly say what my favorite book of the year is, but my favorite book of the first half of the year was Wisteria. I think I loved that series.
I loved Wisteria. If you can see it. I just got Holly, and I plan on reading it in December because it's going to be that perfect vibe for December read.
Yeah.
But that entire series, the Belladonna series, is one of my favorite series.
Mine
it's
too.
so good.
I love it.
It's so good. And it's one of those, like, you could read it, a younger age girl could read it, and it would be okay. Like, there's not a ton of spice in it. And that's what I really liked, that it was very universally, like, good for, like, whatever type of reader. I couldn't pick. I read good stuff this year. I've read 60, as of right now, I've read 67 books. And if you're listening, I'm also a big listener, though, so that's how I read so much in my busy, crazy life, because you're all probably like, how is she reading this much?
Yeah,
I don't. I listen. You're playing Lord Lucy. So I think I really, really enjoyed the Ever King and Ever Queen duology by L.J. Andrews, because I read a lot at the beginning of the year to prep for my girls' trip, like the book trip I went in April. So I read a lot of new authors this year, which I think was really, really exciting. I really enjoyed the Lady of Darkness series. That kind of gave me like Throw in a Glass vibes a little bit. And then I read the Lord of the Rings, or I'm almost finished with the Lord of the Rings trilogy for the very first time ever, and I absolutely loved it. So
I still haven't read it, and I lost track of how many books I've read this year because I gave up on Goodreads. I quit halfway through the year. I was like, I'm over it. I moved to Storygraph because I love the statistics. I love that it tells me how many pages I've read, what type of genres I'm reading. I'm like, this is so much better, and I just don't care about Goodreads anymore.
I use Goodreads, but like my Goodreads and my book. So I'm using Bookmori, which is kind of like the one that you're using. And I really like it. But what I don't like about Goodreads is if you reread a book, it doesn't always count it. So we've reread
it up somehow.
Yeah. So we've reread we're re-listening to Harry Potter, but then we're also like reading it again in the chapter book for school. So I did reread that, but like it's not counting. Like it's just one of those, like I feel like it could be so much more, but it's not. And so it isn't my favorite one to go to, but there's some good books. Like I'm trying to think.
I was actually just yesterday looking at the books that are being chosen for the book of the year on Goodreads, and I feel like those positions are paid for because some of those books had not even been out yet. Like and they're on there, and you're kind of like, is Goodreads just all commercial at this point? Because like that, how is that possibly in the running for the book of the year if it's not even published? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be. I will say that I got 2 arcs this year. I got more than that, or I got 3 arcs, and all the arcs I got, the 3 arcs that I actually did get to read, I absolutely love. So I got the arc of Shield of Sparrows, which I absolutely loved. Cannot wait for book 2. I got an arc for Ballad of the Whispers, which is by a YouTuber not a YouTuber, but a TikToker that I have been following for years. And she did a lot of Crescent City like stuff. And so she wrote her very first novel, or her very first book. It came out this year. I loved it. It's a chunky book, but it was so good. And then I got a cowboy romance arc this year by Holly Renee. So Cowboy Casual. And I ate that one up. Like I'm not a contemporary girly. Like I will read contemporary romance in the summertime. Usually is the only time I read it because it's like just feels summer reads, like quick reads type of thing. That was a really cute like second chance romance, and I really enjoyed it. And I was really short too, so it wasn't like it didn't take up a lot of time.
Laura, have you read anything that you enjoyed?
She's blaming me.
Yeah, I blame you. So it's probably a tie between The Game Gods Play and Fourthwing, which I just got the second book because it just shipped from Amazon of The Games Gods Play. So I just got the second book.
But I started that last night. What's it say? It's The Games Gods Play was book 2. Yeah. So I really enjoyed book 1 too. That one has a lot of mixed reviews. So some people don't like it and some people love it. I really enjoyed book 1. I'm reading book 2. You cannot go wrong with Fourthwing. Again, I feel like a lot of people did not like the next 2 books. but I really,
but I liked the first one. The first one was fun.
yeah. I think it just in the mindset. Like, I don't take reading. That's not probably the way I should say it. I don't take it seriously is not the way I want to say it, but like I do it for enjoyment. So if I'm enjoying myself, the book is a good book for me. If I'm not enjoying myself, then I typically am just like, okay, I'm gonna like either soft DNF this or just DNF it. Like I don't have time to read books that are not enjoyable.
Yeah,
So
I'm that same way.
I have soft DNF'd quite a lot this year, not because like for a couple of various reasons. One, like I started the Audible book, and then I really do not like male narrators. I don't know what it is. I mean, I like the male narrators for like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, like those were good, but like in like a romance, like I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. And unless it's like a dual narration, then it's fine. But I cannot stand a male narrator doing a female voice. I can't. It makes me so angry. So I have soft DNF certain books that have had male narrators who are doing female voices because of that reason, knowing that, okay, this is a book I'm going to have to physically read. So it's just put on hold until I can physically read that book. But I can't.
There are some bad ones.
There are some. I can't stand them.
There's been some bad female voices though too.
There are certain female narrators where they're kind of like nails on a chalkboard to me too.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning that as I'm reading more or listening to more and more Audible books, I'm learning the ones like, oh wait, I don't really care for that narrator, because like there was one book I listened to that should have been a 5-star read for me if I physically read it, but because of the narrator's voice, there were certain times where I'm like, why are you doing that voice? Like why? So that can play a role. So like, you know, I don't ever try to take that into consideration, but there are times where I'm like, this could have been so much more enjoyable.
So another one that we've only ever listened to is Dungeon Crawler Carl. You have to listen to it. It drives me crazy when I see people reading it, and I'm like, why are you reading that? Because so that was done by one audio guy, and there's like 20 characters, and they all have distinct different voices, and he does such a good job. Like I've heard
that Audible is fantastic.
It is. It's amazing. We're on the last one that we have audio for, and like that's like 8 books, and they're all like 30 hours long.
I did not know there was that many books,
and it's so good, you guys. So like, don't read that book, please don't. Like I can't even understand how it would be good read. Like
there are certain books that are way better like on Audible than there are like
you just have to. I mean, because and these ones they actually have the exciting audios. I don't know what those are. With the sounds,
the audios.
Mm-hmm. Like so they have that available too. We didn't read those because we started this way before all those ones were out. But like, yeah, that one is really really cool, and it's just different. Like it's not on my like favorites list because it's not like what I read personally, but it's our family book that we're reading, which not for family. That it's for our family because they okay, but maybe not for everybody's family because it's definitely explicit. But
I mean, I think that's why I like some other books that a lot of people don't like. Like I absolutely love the Butcher and Blackbird series, but I found the one was so good. Now the first one was
so cute. The tourist season is so good.
Yeah. I think that like an Audible can make the book so much more enjoyable, or it could break it. So I think like, you know, each one, I know there's a lot of people who are like, I could never do it. But I was like, I like reading so much that I just don't have time. Like I can maybe read 1 to 2 chapters a day. Like, and that's a big, maybe like physically reading a book. So a physical book takes me a lot longer to read, but I can listen to 3 to 4 in a month, depending on like the size and what's going on, or more depending on the month. Just depends. And so I think like read what you can, like, and read the way you want to read it. Don't let anyone say, like, I hate when people say like an Audible book is not reading. I'm like,
it's all reading. I've loved all the different ways that I read my books.
Yeah. So, and this is a way I can enjoy it and escape. This is my escapism. I mean, if you're watching us, you can see all of my books behind us. This is my way to.
Ass has to do it. Sorry.
Huh?
I said that's how.
it helps. Yeah.
Ass has to.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely.
Otherwise, I would not get through one book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darren and I, like for his reading that he has to do for class, we still like he can read if he reads it out loud. And if he reads it out loud to me, then that's fine. So then we just take turns reading like different parts of the chapters, and that works too. But that's still audio. It's still an Audible book to him. Like listening to half of it.
I love it. I think having a hobby that just makes you escape the chaos of military life is important. And Sabrina's my reasoning for all of this behind me. She's the one that got me back into reading after a very, very long hiatus. I know. And then I'm like, and then Laura's the one that's kind of gotten me into Legos. My son's been into Legos for a while, but like we've been kind of slowly adding more Legos.
That one's supposed to be, that one was the 3-in-1 rabbit, but I turned it into that.
It looks so cool though.
I freaking love that. And so I think like having things that, make your life a little bit more enjoyable, especially if you're a family that doesn't get to go out and do things that you can do at home as a family. I'm loving that the kids are listening to Harry Potter with me. Like we listened to it in the car. Like that's what we were doing like when we were driving, and they have been loving it. Claire's kind of enjoying it, but I think she would rather be listening to Taylor Swift or something, which I don't want to. But she's one of those that, she's a little girl. So she's like, I don't really want to read a book right now.
So we all have different, like my hobby has been journaling for how many years? Look how thick she is this year. And I actually ran out of pages and had to like add paper in the back because I was like, it ran out at the end of October and I was like, oh, I don't want to buy a new journal for 2 months. But I did buy new journals yesterday for next year and I'm so excited.
I wish I was a journaler. I tried. Sabrina tried to rub that on me too. And I was like, my OCD, I just can't like I'll write one word wrong and I'm like done. Like that has to go in the trash right now. That's like so wasteful. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it.
And that's totally cool. I mean, for me, it's more like I want to have all this for my kids to have when I pass so that they can look back and like read things about their life or look at pictures. I do a lot of scrapbooking and stuff in there too. So
I love that. I'm hoping to actually get back into bookbinding. Like I started it kind of at the beginning of this year, end of last year. I did a little bit and then I just haven't really had time to do it. So I was like, I have all this free time with Jeremy being gone for a whole year. So I was like, maybe this is the year that I actually try to do it. But yeah, that's my goal. That's my like hobby that I want to like try again.
I love hobbies, but it makes me so sad because like all the ones that I love take so much time. Like I got super into sewing for a while, but then I lost an entire week of my life because I couldn't work. You can't clean. You can't you have to dedicate that time. And when you're a busy people, that it's impossible. And that's the only thing that's really hard as a busy person is like, oh, I can't. I want to keep sewing, but I know I don't have that time.
We got really into games this year. Like we've been doing a lot of different types of games, me and the kids, or at least me and Devlin for sure. So that's been a really good like opportunity for us to spend some one-on-one time. So we play like board games, card games are our favorite right now. We love a good game of Skippo.
We have Skippo this year too. I like Skippo.
I love Skippo. We do Skippo in Phase 10, but I prefer Skippo just because it's a little bit more fast-paced. Yeah.
I love Phase 10, but by God, that could take the entire day sometimes.
It can take a really long time. But we love Skippo. Like today we went to Second and Charles and we found this Harry Potter like trivia game since we're all in Harry Potter right now. So I was like, oh, this will be fun. Like we can all play this game and, see how it goes. But
and with the curriculum you're doing, it's kind of like a quiz.
Perfect. And that's why I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's $10. Like it goes with the curriculum that I'm doing. We're reading the books and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, we'll do this. And so, and then, we're planning our trip coming up to see Jeremy. And so, our Muggle studies, so our, U.S. history, social studies, whatever you want to call it, they're learning about, like, right now we're doing, like, knights and castles in medieval time. And then we'll go down the line of, like, Romans and Rome. And then I think we're doing Egypt, too, like, short little things about it. And I was like, well, this will be perfect because I'm learning about castles and all this stuff. We can go visit castles and we go to Europe and see all these different things. Maybe we'll be there during a time of a medieval festival. And then I think we're planning on our trip to Rome as well with the kids. And so I was like, well, this will be great. We can do this. And so kind of just incorporating things that are going to be happening in the upcoming months, but at the same time, like still stuff that they should learn. So I'm excited because that's the new thing. That's the thing I didn't say. I started homeschooling this year and it's been a doozy, but we're going.
Welcome to the dark side.
I know. I'm like, oh, like I keep threatening them. Like, I'm like, you're going to go to school. And like, we don't want to. And I'm like, then come on, y'all. Like, work with me. Just
that never goes away, just so you know. That's still always a thing. I'm like, okay.
So, yeah, but we're surviving.
But as I get older, I know it's an empty threat.
It definitely, like my daughter going into high school next year, she's like, yeah, you're not going to send me to high school. You hate the high schools here. And I'm like, you're right. So that sucks. So get along with me, please.
I know.
Yeah. But I think 2026, hopefully for our family, will be better than it was 2025.
I hope so.
It's just been a rough year.
Hopefully you can just stay put and just be for like
Just
a
a year.
solid while.
1 year. Can we just sit? It'd be great. And then Deploy Love, we have, I think it's going to be a good year. We have a pretty good
I think it's going to
team.
be a fantastic year. I don't think everyone understands how excited I am to have a full staff. And like the pressure that it's taken off of me. Like I think that is like something I'm very, very excited about. There's a lot of things that we're in the works of changing and fixing and making sure we're going the right way. But you know, we have an amazing staff right now. Our coordinators are amazing. Our team that's on staff is amazing. We have a solid board now. So we have people filling all the positions. Not all the positions. So if you still want to volunteer, we're still looking for volunteers, but we have a really solid foundation and we've got meetings set up to talk to other individuals about how we can be a better nonprofit and how we can be more successful in finding funding and things like that. So there are a lot of things in play for Deployed Love. There's a lot of amazing events that will come out in the next year.
She did the poll and I'm so excited to see what the number looks like.
I'm so excited for the virtual events to come back. That was one of my favorite things. We started the virtual events kind of after COVID and it was kind of successful, but it kind of wasn't, if that makes any sense. I think people were just overdoing things virtual. And so we kind of put a pause on that. We have a new member on the staff who's going to be handling that. So if you are not in our Hearts Connected group over on Facebook, join the Facebook page, join in on the fun. I think we've talked about doing a book club over there again. Like we've tried so many
crafting. I think what she's going to start is that crafting circle because she crochets. Yeah. So even just sitting around doing a craft, your hobby with someone else is really fun.
And there's so many people who are just like, I can't get out of the house or anything like that. This is a great opportunity to connect with military spouses across the country. You may find a friend that lives at the same location that you can connect afterwards. Like there's just so much that can be from that. And then we have all of our events. I mean, we just finished up our holiday minis this past weekend. This is obviously, you're going to be listening to this in December, but we had a phenomenal holiday mini season. Our coordinators, time and dedication that they put into planning these events, and they were so beautiful. And the appreciation that came out of this and the families, the feedback we've gotten was so, once again, profound of how much it lifted their spirits and how much they enjoyed it. Which is why we do what we do. So we definitely want to make sure that we keep, being able to provide those programs. And one of those things that will help us keep providing those programs is for all of our listeners to help share, our mission and share, comment, things like that, whether here on the podcast or over on the Deployed Love page. I'm so excited. I think our next really, really big event that our coordinators put on is going to be in April, our Purple Up event that we do for our military kids. And they're all doing great things. Our bases are doing social events. They're growing, they're networking, and they're growing as individuals too, which is what we love, that we can support military families, military spouses in growing their resume and things like that. So
the biggest thing is just please share and come. We want the community for the podcast. Like we know you're here. We see the views. We see the people listening. We see you on our TikTok especially. But comment, join us.
Tell me I'm being silly, whatever the case may be. I think we would love to be able to have a bigger community. Like I said, join the Hearts Connect group. Chat with us in there, send us an email, send us a message. Our inboxes are always open to anyone who needs some advice or connection. We're not at all the different locations. I'm currently at Benning. If you're listening and you're at Fort Benning, let me know. I'd love to meet up for coffee, come to a Deployed Love playdate here, and we'd love to connect.
I'm at Las Cruces, so if you're at Bliss, if you're at Holloman, you're at White Sands, we're all right here. We don't have an installation set up because I don't have the capacity, but if you wanted to set it up, I would come to your coffee socials. I'll come hang out with you, but I would love to be able to meet the military community because we're kind of isolated in Las Cruces. We're not at those installations, and so we don't have a military community right now. And so if you're here too, just message me. I will drive to El Paso to have coffee. That would be fine.
I know. I mean, in short, we're here to connect with you all in various capacities, whether it's through the podcast, through Deployed Love, through the Hearts Connect group. We know how lonely and how chaotic and how crazy this life can be. We're not experts, but we have a lot of expertise in this area. And so we're here to be a listening ear. We're here to, you can help, you can vent, we can talk nothing about the military life and can be about momhood, books, crafting, whatever the case may be. We're just here to provide a safe space for military spouses, military families to have if they feel like they don't have that.
Yeah. I mean, like we said earlier, if something comes up that you don't know the resource to, we may not know it either, but I will go out of my way for you to find it, because why not? If I'm an advocate for you, why not go my way to do it for you? So.
And I think that's what we want everyone to know, is that we'll look into it. We'll try to find the resource or something similar to it that can help provide what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Because one, we want to know too. Like, that was one of the reasons why we started the podcast. We were like wanting to know these resources ourselves. We are military spouses just like you guys, and in the thick of it. We're in the trenches. We are holding down the fort. We are surviving one day at a time. So we know what you're going through. So we also want to make sure that we are providing all that support.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed season 5. It was a long year. It was a lot of really cool things. Season 6 is really exciting, where the application should be out, like I said. So find that on one of our social medias. Come apply. Come join us. Join us for a girl chat, even if it is about books, like we said. Something like that is fine. We look forward to it, and we hope that you guys enjoy your holiday season, and we will get back to new episodes in the new year.